Anyway.
Hello, good evening. You're watching New Way of Being, hosted by Avatar Galextra with Andraggon on Facebook Live,
YouTube.
on YouTube Live.
Yeah. Avatar Galextra's YouTube channel.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm very disappointed in what I'm seeing in our world today for people. Not all people, though. There's some really nice human beings around, but I'm very disturbed about those that I'm seeing who spend their times looking for ways to undermine other people's rights by persecuting them. Well, let me explain. Um, I was, my husband and I went to get some things outside, and while we were coming back, uh, or while we were going too,
Mm.
they had these cars passing, making these loud noises. I don't think today, this morning, earlier on, but later on when we went, we were leaving, they
Mm.
came making lots of noise. So I'm trying to understand why these people are behaving in such a manner. I know they're led by Mr. Trump because Mr. Trump is the one who has been bringing people or paying them to come and attack and abuse us, abuse me especially.
Mm.
And what they did to our daughter was not nice. And because of these areas of abuses and tyranny, just before the coronavirus came about, or they said was coronavirus, um, they killed out my family, 5 members. There's two more, but I do not know if they killed them out too. But just at the time before they killed out my mom, my sister, my brother, and a few others, um, they were telling the people that they're here to get rid of 90% of the people, or 60. I don't know, one or the other, or both,
Mm.
and that this is what is going to be happening. That 90% of the people in the Canadian government and the U.S.
On the
government
planet.
are in the planet
Across the
altogether.
planet. Mm.
Okay, I guess that's where across the planet.
Mm.
They were going to kill out quite a lot of people, but after a while, they killed out 5 members of my family, and then turned around and said that I raped my little sister. I have to let you know because these things have to be looked at. Um, these are the things the government has been doing to me and my family. They've been setting us up for tyranny and having people do whatever they want with us.
Mm.
These are the things that we are going through. And I'm disappointed in so many ways that a society would allow itself to reach to the point of behavior that is literally setting up babies to be raped and killed. You see, when you put out all the evil that is you're putting out in the society, it gives you back something in return, the core of the evil that you set up to put out against others. You did not realize that once you put it out there, you yourselves will fall in a part of it because you're practicing some of it. And that leads you to another and another and another. But when you cut these things out of your life and instead practice the behavior that embodies quality, happiness, respect, dignity, and so on for everybody, those are the things that brings people together. The love in a right in respectful way, the friendship, the care, the respect, all these things accumulated in a bunch when you start behaving responsibly. And once they start accumulating, they guide you to the right behavior. When you're practicing behavior that is undermining the rights of others, helping men to get away with behaviors against women that should not be treated in such a manner, um, and also creating all kinds of problems by blocking a society from getting the opportunity to develop their internal highly so that they can connect with everybody. Children would be safe, adults would be safe, Parents would be able to go and come back from wherever they want to. And if they want to work for a short while, they can do that. But to have the government control them by blocking them from putting the first preference first. Your children must be trained, your children must be loved and respected and cared for. When you're doing that, please excuse me, when you're doing that, you will find a society of beings that are behaving responsibly. When you don't practice those areas of development, and you don't have those areas of development, you want to terrorize other people because you're seeing that they have certain kinds of abilities that you don't have, or you think you don't have, because you haven't done the right things. And you don't realize that there are great results when you're doing the right things. It means that you're helping yourself, you're upgrading yourselves, and you're upgrading others in the process of your quality behavior towards them.
Hmm.
When you spend your time doing damage to human beings, terrorizing them, and then using the media, using the governments, using any and everybody to help them to do damage as the government is doing, using people today to do that damage. That's how they killed out my family. And when you do that, you're creating all kinds of evil. And you're setting up in the world evil to continue to manifest in all different ways because you're practicing some of it, and others are taking heed and recognizing, hey, maybe I can do this. They don't realize that if you practice those things that undermine others, you're also practicing a dysfunction, so dysfunctional,
Dysfunctional.
dysfunctional
That's okay.
society,
Yeah.
and it destroys a whole set of people, if
Hmm.
not everybody, after a period of time. If we don't recognize what is going on, how it can be stopped, have people recognize the truth about things, and have them grow in a manner in which they were born to, rather than being forced to become the type of behavior that is undermining people's rights and their happiness. It's not the right of anybody to do that, not even governments. Governments are not supposed to be controlling the people. Look at what they're doing with their controls. They gave themselves permission, carte blanche, to do whatever they want to you. But when you do any one of those things, you're being put in jail. And those who are not doing it are being persecuted. This is what Mr. Trump is doing to my eyes. You see those lines? He put them there.
Hmm.
What he does is use his 4D technology with vast capabilities that they weaponize, has cloaks of invisibility. They go into those different sections and use all kinds of stuff that they put inside of it for it to do damage to you if that's what they want. And this is what Mr. Trump has been doing.
Hmm.
This is what not just Mr. Trump, but many people are practicing. This is what the CNN group is behaving like. I could literally feel the presence of a few of them, or one of them, coming and pushing me across there, and I felt that it was Trump coming across there. The CNN people seem to like Trump, and they give him chance to speak on the air, and nothing is wrong with that. But when you're giving someone a chance to speak on the air, and they're brutalizing human beings and trying to kill them like he's been trying to kill me, and deform my face, deform my body,
Hmm.
turn my family against me. Not all of my family. There are some people in my family that don't do that. I am one of them, and my daughter is another. Or our daughter is another. We don't do things like that to anyone. I am here not to play games with your bad behaviors. I'm here to show you the right way to grow so that you don't rob others of their rights to be happy and free and feel comfortable and speak properly with integrity. When we don't do that, we become a part of the evil that is running the society, like systems, governments that can't be trusted, the public that would like to see things run properly is not getting that kind of opportunity to recognize that they too can do well and improve on life for everybody, including themselves,
Hmm.
by doing the right thing, not taking advantage of people, not robbing women of their rights to work with their husbands to stop problems that are taking place. Who gave these people on CNN the right to be able to come inside of here and attack and abuse me or any of my family? I am an avatar. That's my title. When I first came here into the United States, I told them that I am the source. Well, suddenly Radio Shack decided that they were now the source. Then I went along the street where we were living and I noticed another building that was selling materials for using like drills and different things for people to buy, and they call themselves the source too. The next thing I knew, different people calling themselves the source. Ladies and gentlemen, I have given a lot to this society without even being recognized as given anything. I have been persecuted, terrorized, attacked, and abused, deformed by these people and their behavior. I can't even get the opportunity to be able to live in a home so that I can look after my family without other people inside of this place that you just don't know, and they not some of them might not be behaving properly, and you have to live around among them. This is why I was telling Mr. Trudeau that we need our billions of dollars that they owe us, because we have other people to help too, to look after. These are people that no one seems to care about, but I do. They're my family. And I am not talking about my internal family, which, yes, they are going to be looked after. But I'm talking about my extended family too. Those that, without having done anything wrong or even bothering anyone or creating any kinds of problems, are being mistreated for being a color. That's a disgrace that people who call themselves superior and are complexes and are using that ignorance to attack and abuse those that they would like to have that instead of themselves. Instead of recognizing people and allowing them to behave in a manner in which is beneficial to everybody, including themselves, they're setting up to create all kinds of problems. Look at what was done to my mouth. Look what was done to my face.
To your hair?
To my hair, my daughter's hair, her body, her rights violated. Our rights violated. We have been terrorized by the United States and the Canadian government and all those who help them to do damage to us without us having done anything to them or even associate with them to do anything wrong at any time. We don't do this. Right now, I'm speaking to you, Mr. Trump, or whoever else he brought here, maybe from the CNN, to come and attack me. They're using this thing that to loosen my body so when I'm walking, my body's supposed to shake. I'm an African female and I have a strong body, and they have been doing that to my body, and felt it going through that process when walking. And would you believe Mr. Trump, Mr. Trudeau, Mr. The rest of them from CNN, the Comos, and those who follow them, they were using females to go after my husband and spending their times trying to come after me and playing all kinds of games and acting as if I'm interested in them. And I'm not interested in them in that way. I was quarreled with by Chris Como for no reason. He started quarreling with me. I didn't even understand what he was saying by the time he was started and finished. I just did not bother. These are not friends. These are not people who know how to treat human beings. They're prejudiced. They're arrogant. They think it's all about them. And when I showed no interest, then suddenly I became a problem. I've seen that with other people too. I did not come here for you to be interested in me in any way. I care about all of you. I've never looked to play any games with you. I've never looked to do anything that was wrong with you. And yet I was being treated as if that's the interest that I have. No, that's your interest, not mine. My interest is not on other people. I don't run from one person to another. I respect my right to know what my rights are. And as a god, or as you say, a goddess that you have tampered with, did all this damage to,
Mm.
and then turn around and persecute me and set up others to persecute me by using your cars to make loud noises so that you can now drive me crazy. This is the kind of people that we are meeting in the society today, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of people that have been terrorizing my family and myself. These are the people that are interfering in my relationship with my family. And they don't even know how to think. They're shallow. If they had any kind of depth, they would not be behaving in the manner in which I saw they were behaving towards me. And I would not have to be speaking about it. You see, there's a lot of prejudice going on. And if you don't know who the people are, you're not looking properly. I look very well and I pay close attention. And I don't even have to do that because you all have been forcing yourselves on me and try to give impressions that I'm interested in you in some way or another to do bad things with. No, never was interested in such a way, and you knew it. So you decided that you were going to find ways to give impressions that that's what is going on. It's only going on in your mind because you are the one that has been terrorizing and persecuting me and my family. You are the ones that have been working with the government like Mr. Trump, who has no morals, no dignity, but yet you all are debating if it's okay for him to be president and that he deserves to be. No, he does not deserve to be president. That man deserves to be in a mental institution.
Mm.
The same things that you were calling people like us because of the fact that you knew very well that you all were behaving that way. So you decided to set it up to give impressions that we do that. We don't do that to anyone. We're too developed for that. We're here not to play your games. We're here to stop the games that are corrupting the whole society and is creating a great deal of problems for everybody, including babies. And so you make up lies and you tell people that I, the avatar, has raped my little baby sister. Do you know what you're saying? And when you're telling me that I was raping my little baby sister, did you know that I had just become her godmother while she was my little sister? And soon as that was done, I left my father's home because I saw wrongs that I did not like.
Mm.
Did any of you care about the right thinking, about the truth? And why is the government of the United States and Canada using people in their to use their cars to make loud noises to literally drive you mad? This is the kind of stuff that your government is doing in Canada, run by Mr. Trudeau, and in the United States, run by Mr. Trump, who is mentally disabled and should not be running anything, let alone a government with human beings. He's turning people into the kind of garbage that he is. And if you fail to realize what you have allowed to grow into the society while you attack and abuse people for being a color, you allow this poison to inflate and destroy the society of people. This is what you're doing. This is why you had Mr. Trump put lines in my face to make me appear aged. They've been watching me since I was a little girl. And they look for ways as I grew older and they noticed that I was not aging physically. They decided that they were going to take control and give Mr. Trump executive privilege to do damage to me. And Mr. Trump has been doing it to me for decades on an everyday basis, 24/7, until after a period of time, He had no choice but to do it in a different way, where he can now come regularly, night and day, 24/7. And after a period of time, follow you wherever you move to and continue the tyranny. It's still going on. Mr. Trump is using this technology to rip my kneecaps off
mm,
my knee. Mr. Trump has been going into my body and attacking me in my ligaments,
mm,
attacking me in the womb, attacking me in the bus, in the heart, in
mm.
the arms,
Yeah, joints.
in the joints,
Cavities of.
the cavities of my brain. And he's been using something to like a sharp knife with light that feels like a real knife going through your head and then pulling it out.
Mm,
And they've been doing that to block my memory.
mm,
And your government is aware of that in the United States, and so the Canadian government is too. Mr. Trudeau is very much a part of it because Mr. Trudeau is protecting Mr. Trump in his behavior. And also, he and Mr. Trump did something to our daughter very badly. Not just one thing, but gained her weight like nobody's business before they got her overweight. They raped our child. She's deeply hurt. I'm not supposed to speak about it, but I am speaking about all these things because it's necessary for people to understand why the United States government will be owing in the billions, and so the Canadian government will be. And the reason they have to pay that money, and they need to pay it right away, they're playing games and saying all kinds of stuff that they're sending money here and there. And we have been waiting for some time, and they killed out my family. We have nowhere to turn for family because they set up a whole society to terrorize us wherever we go. They're using big cars with bad mufflers or whatever it is that is creating those loud sounds intentionally to drive you crazy. Remember, I have committed no crimes, neither have my family.
mm,
We have harmed no one, and they're constantly interfering in our relationship to destroy it and throwing those females who behave like all they want to do is to hop from one man to another. That's what CNN is carrying for human beings. And not all people are like that, however. There are some people who are in the CNN that are women that are behaving responsibly. I cannot trust people anymore because of the lack of quality I have been seeing in your society that the government of the United States and Canada has created for the people to suffer. And they think that they're living a great life. They don't realize that the great life that they were supposed to be living has been robbed from them,
mm,
set them up to torture people like me for being good enough to come and help you to find your true selves,
mm.
for being the kind of being who cares about all of you, but not to sleep with you. My family and I have been greatly taken advantage of in the worst way. We want this evil to stop immediately because if Mr. Trump continues this behavior, and along with the other people that he's paying to come and do this garbage to us, we have our rights, and our rights have been violated to the max. I do not like Mr. Trump. He's not a good person. He's a demon, a devil, if you will. And that's what you have running a country. And you're turning the public, those who think that it's okay to behave that way, becoming the kind of demons that they weren't born to be, but end up becoming because they're living in a society with people with less in development in terms of integrity and ability to see, to understand, and treat people with dignity so that you can have human beings living in freedom rather than in tyranny. I'm very saddened to see the kind of beings out there in the public that are doing this. I'm also saddened to see the quality of men in society. I think the women are highly developed and they still need more developing because they need to understand their true points of view that is beneficial to their lives, the lives of their family, and the lives of all beings in general. We are each other's keepers, my human brothers and sisters. And it's time for us to come together and be there for each other. Bonds of pure and sacred light that glue each of us together.
Bonds of pure and sacred light that cannot be broken
Glue each of us together. That's
now and
forever.
forever. Whatever
Whatever
harm
harm is done to one,
wounds you,
me and everyone, values today are being thrown away by people each and every day. They sacrifice their families, ruin their health, and destroy their marriages, chasing social status and material wealth. This is what was done to me. I am a god, ladies and gentlemen. I did not come here to play games or do damage to any of you. But I was attacked for being beautiful. I was attacked in my body for having a great body.
mm,
I was attacked in my mind for having so much knowledge. I was abused to every point by people that I knew and people that I did not know. The prejudice was too great. If you really want to live in this world and be happy, then do the right thing. Treat everyone responsibly. Stop using all kinds of bad slangs to insult and degrade everybody. Because when you degrade them, you set up a society to start practicing that kind of tyranny. Work to the best to show people the kind of beings they truly are. When you praise them, they will praise you and everybody else. You will upgrade each other. There's nothing bad in upgrading each other. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of good in it because what it does, it destroys the wrongs that people are doing to your skin to make you look ugly so that Caucasians could look better than you. That's how prejudiced and ignorant, jealous that many of them are. Not all. There's some really beautiful ones there too. And not because they treat you nice and then they turn around and mistreat another person, but because if they're treating you properly, they will treat others properly too. But only when you abuse them, they will have to react to protect their dignity and their right to have their sanity. I'm disappointed in many of you, the ones who behave irresponsibly. As a matter of fact, I would prefer not to speak to any of you until I see that you show me your dignity. Beauty does not give you the quality, the beauty from within, the thinking that you're carrying. When you start using it, you will notice that that is the most beautiful thing in the world. And that will help you to reach others without insulting, degrading, and persecuting, and not looking to steal another person's husband or wife. And another thing, if you were developed enough, you would realize that when you are insulting someone for being an age, that you're really insulting yourself because you set up the whole set that listen to you doing that to them, coming to do it to you too. There are those who are more developed, they would not do anything to you. Start looking for your greater self. It is within you, it's the core of your being. Practice the right thinking, the right behavior, and you will see a whole society making changes to accommodate that quality that they're seeing that you're producing. Because of those qualities, they want to be a part of that. They will dutch all the garbage that they're carrying down, specifically to show you their true selves in high quality and no tyranny. Stop persecuting my family. I would like to know that you're living in a better way, that you've made changes to accommodate the kind of behavior that does not destroy but uplifts everyone, man, woman, and child. You don't have to harm anyone. From the day I was born till now, I did not spend my time looking to harm anyone. And babies, excuse me, are special to me. I respect them with all dignity. I don't go down in quality when people change. Well, they're not, people aren't looking. I stay within my quality because I'm a pure being. I'm pure in terms of loving all of you, but not in a way in which undermines anybody. I mean, loving you because you're my family, loving you because it's my right to treat you respectfully and properly, loving you and expecting that you would recognize that someone like me could never do damage to a baby. You don't know me. Only when you do know me would you understand. Right now, you're playing like Trump, some of you. And right now, he's attacking me in the head. This is the kind of stuff that the United States is allowing Mr. Trump to do, and the Canadian government. Mr. Trudeau is running it. Mr. Trudeau wanted to be president.
Prime Minister.
Oh, no, he wanted to be president. When he saw he got prime minister, he said, "I prefer to be a president."
Oh,
And he couldn't be president because look at what they put for president. No class,
Canada has prime
only
minister,
junk.
not president.
That's what they have for president in the United States. And if they wanted to have a president in Canada and they chose Mr. Trudeau, then his ego would have overblown and the behavior would have gotten even worse. Why? Because Mr. Trudeau is not keeping his word and they're playing games. I don't mind working with people, but to see people work in a way in which undermines the very quality of life and the rights of others, and I have been treated that way. These are not things that should be participated in any society, in any family. No one should be mistreated. And men, you need to stop hopping from one female to another and start treating these female with dignity instead of thinking that it's all about what is between your legs. It's not about that. There's a greater action that needs to be taken, one that respects and degrades no one, one that spends their time recognizing that in order for them to be the kind of beings they were born to be, that they must practice the right kind of behavior, the right kind of thinking, and protection for all of life. That means no disrespect. Get out the shallow. You don't need it. And upgrade yourself with quality that helps everybody to smile so that people won't see anybody behaving like terrorists, jealous people, prejudiced people, ignorant people, abusive people. What I'm seeing in the United States and in Canada for some people makes me feel very ill. As a matter of fact, I don't have to to become ill. Mr. Trump has that machine that he's using to make me ill at different times. Mr. Trump is also attacking me in all different parts of my body. And I go through extreme pain. And all Mr. Trudeau could tell me is nothing about the money that he's supposed to give me, only about how many different people he's giving the money to, what schools and all this, go to work and all of this stuff. When I was terrorized and persecuted in the streets of the United States and Canada,
Inside your home.
inside of my home,
Every place we've lived in.
everywhere we have lived. And it's true. He had to remind me
Hmm.
because I have memory problems, not because I'm old, but because they're using this technology to make sure that they make people think that they're aging, and because they're aging, they're losing their minds, their thinking, and all of that are not true. They did this to me, Mr. Trump, and whoever else. The CNN bunch, I don't know about all of them, but I know one thing, that some of them are not very nice people. I would like to see nice people run things, not weak people that try to shout at you and to say that they're strong. What it shows me is how ignorant they are. What it shows me is the lack of quality that is running the country or speaking on CNN, and they shouldn't be there because they are lying like hell and saying all kinds of stuff that is not true. At least one stuff anyway. I shouldn't say all kind. Um, as people, we need to show our quality and help others stop abusing human beings. Stop trying to tell people who they are and who they are not. You don't know them. You don't have the development to understand how to love yourself. So, how could you show love for others without knowing how to love yourself? And knowing that people are all alike in terms of wanting the right kind of treatment, wanting to show people that they care about them, not having people come in their cars and making loud noises to drive you crazy, and they don't even know you, and they're doing what the others are telling them to do. Mr. Trump, for instance, and whoever else, the people in CNN, maybe. I don't trust them. And I don't trust them because not all of them. I've seen some of them that I really like. I think they're okay. But there are
Hmm.
also some of them when I tell them, when I show that I cared about them, they some of them just turn and start behaving as if you have no right to care about me. I care about all beings. They're my family. My job is not to sit back and say everything is okay when it's not. My job is to speak about the wrongs, the ills of society, so that people can make some changes and benefit the quality rather than their tyranny. That sets us free when we speak truth to quality and we help each other in the process. Don't be ignorant and think because you look good that now others should be mistreated because they don't look as good as you. I'm seeing a lot of Caucasian females behaving that way. And it disappoints me to know that they're tied to how they look rather than the quality of their thinking. They're so tied to how they look, they want to steal everybody's man, woman, and child. It's no wonder they're trying to blame me for sleeping with a child that I never did. A child that is my little sister. And I always protect and respect all of my family. And you all are my family, and I've never done anything like that to any of you. So why would I do that to a little baby that I love so dearly? She's now an adult, I think.
Yes.
So please do yourselves a favor. Stop looking for trouble. Instead, look to show some happiness to everybody. A lot of people are suffering. A lot of people are dying. Stop playing the wrong kind of games. Start treating people with dignity. And people of color, like me, please remember one thing. I'm not here to show you that I'm superior to you, because I'm not. I am here to show you what you are a part of and the qualities that you possess from within that others aren't telling you about. People have been made to believe that if you show quality, you're weak. No, that's the quality that literally is exposed and shows the whole world that when they're living that way, they're safe, they're happy, they have that dignity. The quality shows around them intentionally to bring peace to all beings, to show beings that they're truly special and they truly have dignity within them. They just need to practice those areas internally. Practice with everybody. Not, don't doesn't mean you have to sleep with anybody. I'm just telling you to treat each other responsibly, caringly. Not because you treat them properly does not mean that now it's time to hop in bed. That's not where I'm coming from. I'm trying to show you what you're capable of and that you'll meet your partner one day. But don't go stealing because when you steal, you're setting a society to become the thieves of society. Instead of stealing, treat people with dignity. They're your brothers and sisters. You don't need to sleep with everybody. Stop going to steal anybody. Steal the quality and pass it on to everybody. And you will notice that that is a wonder to have. It protects, it guides you spiritually, emotionally, and with integrity. They don't want to give me my money because they know I will have my mouth refixed and my face refixed. So they are dragging their feet so that I can age totally and I can get nothing fixed by that time. I love you all. You have a great day and a great life. And remember, treat people as you would like to be treated. We all have feelings. We all love you, but not in the wrong way. Don't ask for things that someone should not be giving. And don't persecute people to do what you want. And when they don't, you terrorize them, like Mr. Trump is doing to my head right now. These are the mental cases of your society. I vote for Biden. And if anybody go voting for Mr. Trump again, what you get is what you created for your world. You wanted to behave badly, then what you can do is set up the world to behave badly and you'll see the kind of evil you will produce. If you really want to live in peace and harmony, drop the tyranny and start behaving with quality. Blessings to you all. I wish you the best. And I didn't just get that way because I'm aging or he aged me. I'm speaking this way because that's where I've been all of my life. The first thing I told my mother when I got old enough, I'm going to save the world. She was smiling. She said, I believe you. You go and do it, girl. And that's where I've been leading all of my life. I've had all kinds of problems in between, sure, but not because I created them. It's because a society was already suffering from its ills. And I ended up becoming part of the persecution. Do not persecute anyone. Protect all beings. Respect them. If they're doing wrong, let them know. Nothing is wrong with that. Do it responsibly. Look after each other so others can look after your family and you. And don't think because they're not your family as you think they aren't, does not mean that they don't care about you or you care about them. To care does not mean that you have to sleep in bed with another person in the wrong way. To care means that you care about them, they're your family, and you're going to respect them, and you've done that in the past. But our society went awry, and so this is why this is happening. What your job to do is treat people with respect and dignity. You will find a beautiful society upcoming. Good luck on your journey.
Before you go,
I want you to be able to speak if you want to.
well, no, I just wanted you to address the movement that is surfacing across the planet, a protest movement because of the killing of an innocent human being, an
Yes.
African American man, by a Caucasian European police officer in broad daylight, in view while being filmed by a camera, and for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, this police officer placed his knee on the neck of George Floyd, whose body will be buried tomorrow next to his mother's. And because of that um, inhumane, despicable act committed by this man, police officer,
Who
in
cared
public,
nothing about his
in
rights.
public, people are reacting across America, across the world, and now demanding not just to be heard, but calling for actions to be taken, for changes to be made. So you may want to comment um, on this uh, rise of this protest movement in the COVID-19 era by people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired of
What
having to
is
live
being
with
done to them?
police brutality and
Hmm.
other injustices done to people of color, especially Africans, Americans, and Africans across the planet, by people in positions of power and influence, particularly those of Caucasian European influence.
Yeah.
So I know you haven't mentioned this uh,
You are
movement
mentioning it. That's good. Go ahead.
because you spoke eloquently, um, beautifully about what's been done to you and your family and the kinds of things that you want to see people practice so they
Hmm.
can learn to live in the manner in which they were brought into existence to live.
Hmm.
But the this protest movement, do you see it as something that will die down and fade away?
Oh, it
Uh,
definitely will after a period of time because with information, the right information, people make changes. When they see people, other people practicing the behavior that they know that they can practice that is beneficial to themselves and everybody else.
Let me phrase that. I said that wrong. Um, do you see this protest movement as a real evidence of changes that are on the horizon of taking
Yes,
place in the
yes.
lives of Americans and people of color?
All beings.
Hmm.
After a period of time, all beings would be connecting in a manner in which works for everyone.
Hmm.
And instead of having all this ignorance flying all around, creating all kinds of hell for people, we will have people with dignity and behaviors that exemplify such great beings
Hmm.
that it will change the world around them, bring people back to the order that they had before, and they get access to their greater selves. When you have access to your greater self, it means that you are very deep. You have a lot of information that you can help others with, and others have a lot of information when they are that way, and they can help you with some that you may need to get in contact within yourself.
Hmm.
It's a part of the work that is needed for everybody to live in a manner in which protects and respects the quality of life of all of life.
Hmm. Um, we will speak in details about the changes that are on the horizon on this planet
Hmm.
because human beings have reached a point where they are ready to um, take action to elevate and upgrade their lives, the world, the communities, um, using the abilities that are locked inside them for all of their lives and that they've been told nothing about, or even that they have the right to search for um, these
Qualities they
timeless
have
tools,
within.
ancient
Hmm.
qualities which they
Ancient
own.
knowledge. Yeah.
Hmm. Um, the people, um, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The this the ones who killed George Floyd um, are the same people who are using the same ancient technology that has vast fourth dimension capabilities.
It's okay.
Something fell. These police officers were used by the demon in the White House and others working with them to uh, manipulate and undermine and decimate the lives of human beings using this technology that is thousands of years ahead of anything that human beings have developed so far on this planet. And so they use this technology to, they use it for officers as Manchurian candidates, controlling their minds and bodies, amplifying, magnifying the racist thinking and behavior of the one who had his knee on the neck of George Floyd, for example, used him as a Trojan horse to kill this African American man in broad daylight while it's filmed by a 17-year-old bystander. And they did that so that human beings would become enraged and infuriated and shocked and take to the streets and protest because the demon in the White House want to see Americans show emotions and actions that are considered oh, violent, lawless, and so on, so that he will have an excuse to bring in thousands and thousands of military troops, as he said,
Mm-hmm.
onto the streets of American cities and turn that nation into a dictatorship. So, just as they're using this technology to inject poisoned mucus inside the bodies of millions of human beings and killing so far about 500,000 of them with this disease that is neither a virus nor is it contagious. They're using this technology to kill someone in public in such a way that it moves people to the core of their soul and forces them to stand up and speak out about this awful crime done in public in broad daylight by police officers against an innocent human being of African heritage.
I'm being attacked on this side of the nostrils. They're pushing something here, and I can feel it going down here, and it hurts.
Yes.
That's what Mr. Trump, Mr. Trudeau, um, the CNN bunch, and others are doing. This is the kind of stuff that they seem to be a part of. And I do not want to condemn anyone. There are some people in the CNN that are nice people. So I'm not speaking about all of them. I'm speaking about the ones that are participating in and pretending to be nice people. And the ones who are participating in it and they're nasty in their behavior. And these are the people that we need to look at carefully because they're the ones who are doing helping to do the killings and lying and saying that they have coronavirus and suddenly all their hair is chopped off because Trump does that.
And
come to tell me, they're ill. I couldn't buy it because I did not see that. I saw lies, treachery, and deceit. Anyway, what you were saying?
Oh, this cover up, the biggest cover up on the face of planet Earth today, using a poisoned mucus masquerading as a COVID 19 pandemic to create an international health crisis. This cover up will be exposed to the human being, to the human race, uh, when we are able to get the information out there through the media to the public so that they can start to connect the dots about what is being done to them, who is doing it to them, how they are doing these, committing these crimes against them, and the reasons why these crimes must come to an end, and human beings must then start to stand up, as Bob Marley says, get up, stand up, and uh, speak out for your rights. because change is in the atmosphere. Many of you started to feel that change because whenever the time comes for the truth to surface in the lives of any race of mortal beings, no power on the face of that planet or beyond has the ability to prevent the truth from rising up and
And believe me, Mr. Trump has been doing a whole lot to block the truth from any information from coming out. You should see the stuff that he goes through to block us from being able to put out the information that is necessary to be heard.
yes. Recently, our Facebook page was simply removed, vanished from Facebook. Uh, Yesterday, just vanished. The page, which has my name, Andraggon Cavanagh, Facebook page, which is linked to Avatar Galextra's Facebook page. That page simply vanished with all the information we posted there, including the document that we have posted, a 25-page document called Sounding the Alarm. The entire Facebook page simply vanished. The Avatar's Facebook page, which she created with our daughter's help years ago, that page has been buried, removed from Facebook because we lost the service of the company Tech Savvy that provided the email address for the avatar to be able to get to that page. And that page has about 4,000 plus friends on our Facebook page and hundreds, about 500 different groups that we connected to. And so we have been unable to get that page reactivated because Tech Savvy wants us to pay a few $100s owed for that page.
Mr. Trump is now trying to cut some more hair off by attacking the middle of my hair. That's how they cut off the hair. You can feel it starts itching.
Mm.
When it starts happening wild, you know that where it's coming from. That's Trump. And we need to have Mr. Trump put in jail and also have that machine be taken away from him.
Mm.
And no government, and the government that did that and use him that way is a government that should be locked up themselves.
Um, we haven't yet brought you the broadcast about the COVID-19 pandemic uh, concoction that's been manufactured to create this international health crisis that governments have used all kinds of legal measures, stay-at-home rules, and more to confine you to your homes and to shut businesses down and to turn the nations of this planet into a kind of oppressed and controlled um,
Wow.
places for nearly for the nearly 8 billion human beings living on the surface of Lady Gaia today. Um, so we want to bring that information to you. However, Facebook is being used by the American government to prevent us from getting information out to you, the people, and the media, which controls most of the uh, correction. The media, which is controlled by the largest corporations, multinational corporations on the planet today, they've been working overtime to keep us from being able to have the story told to you, the people, either online or offline. So we continue to work to bring the truth about what's been done to the Albert Einstein family and to you, the people, using that technology that was given to exemplary scientists to help Lady Gaga from dying about 80 years ago, just before World War II ended, and is now using it to kill over 500,000 human beings with this poisoned mucus that is masquerading as a coronavirus that keeps your scientists puzzled and confused about exactly what it is that is infecting your bodies and trying to find solutions or cures or antidotes for it that they will not be able to do so until they actually understand the true nature of this poisoned mucus that is being used to infect the bodies of millions of human beings today as we speak. So we are sounding the alarm, but being prevented from doing so by the demon in the White House, along with thousands of unseen government correction, thousands of government agents who are moving across the planet unseen and create all kinds of crises and problems for human beings from inside the fourth dimension when cloaks of invisibility that looks like synthetic garments lined with a silicone substance that transforms or morphs their bodies to look as shadows as they flash in and out of the fourth dimension, committing a Pandora of crimes against human beings, including the Avatar and their family. So the God of all gods spoke to you today about what's being done to her and her family and gave you all kinds of timeless truths and ancient knowledge for you to start to use to be able to unlock the treasures that you carry and to start to understand that the treasures that you each are, along with the other life forms living on Lady Guy's surface with you today. So here we are. This
Yes.
motel, another motel, moved from the last one, Motel 6,
We've
to
been
another
hopping from
one.
one motel to
Yes,
another.
they're pushing us out of every place we have sought refuge in or shelter in. We're now in our fifth
And they're
motel.
playing games wouldn't give us our money.
Hmm.
We're ending up having to go through this hell over and over again.
Mm.
And wherever we go, we are being attacked and abused. At least I am.
Yes.
And our daughter is being abused. They're putting scabs on her head and her skin. This is not very nice. Mr. Trump is going too far.
Mm.
And Mr. Trump needs to be put in jail. You need to take away that thing from that man. I'm telling you, you are going to regret it if that isn't stopped.
Mm. Um, are we anything else you want to say?
Um, what I would like to say is that if you're going to live in a world, you need to learn how to look at the right and deal with the right behavior in whatever you do. Stop abusing children and then looking to blame human beings who have done nothing wrong and tell them that they raped someone that they never did.
Mm.
That is really twisted. I don't think y'all could have gone any further than that evil. You lied, you cheated, you literally didn't care. And the thing is, too, your government locked off all the lawyers, so you can't get a lawyer to do anything. In other words, they win no matter which way they turn because they're doing whatever they want to you and rubbing you blind, setting people up to blocking them from being able to get access to the people who can help them to deal with the problems that they're going through. That is just evil.
Mm.
I'm disappointed that a government like that exists anywhere. And to see that Trump is one of those people, oh God, I'm repalled. I just can't believe this.
Mm.
This is not something that you want people to know that you're a part of. This is an evil society that is so conflicted that they don't even know what is right and wrong and how to handle the wrongs that are being done to the right people or to the wrong people. They shouldn't
Mhm.
be treated that way. Um, be there for the right people, for all beings. Treat everybody properly. They're all capable of great behaviors. Don't set up to persecute anyone because you're setting tyranny for everyone. Start looking at the things that you're doing that are wrong. Stop running a whole families all over the world to go and to work for you because they need to work for themselves first. Bring up their children. See to it that no one is terrorizing their kids. And the school systems, it's a disgrace. That's why all this evil is going on. Too much time being run by the systems, not enough time being looked after by the families. Excuse me.
Mm.
And the kind of things that are being taught back and forth, or full, whichever. are not being taught the right things. They're being taught the wrong things. They're being persecuted and terrorized. They're being blocked from going to the professionals that will be able to help them to deal with the problems that they're going through. You did that to us. We couldn't go anywhere. We still can't. We can't get help from anyone because you blocked us off. As a government, as the United States government and the Canadian government, I'm proud of this guy. What's his name? Snowden.
Mm.
Edward Snowden.
Yes.
Mr. Snowden, my name is Avatar Galextra, and I want you to know this. I'm proud of what you did. And you know something? A real government, a good government, when they see something like that is taking place in it, would do something to stop it. And when they see people are behaving in a manner in which is uncouth, disrespectful, irresponsible,
Mm.
and you know the rest, it should be stopped. People are capable of great things. They're not being allowed the freedom to get to the qualities that they possess. And they need to learn that from others too. People definitely have great hearts when they're allowed the freedom to learn properly from scratch and grow up that way. Stop interfering with the quality of life and turning it into garbage. They're good people. Give them the knowledge that they need, show them the way to get it and access it by looking at within and finding the ancient knowledge you're carrying. By looking at everything that you're doing to make sure you're not doing things that is harming another. But when you find that you're living in a society where the majority is behaving irresponsibly, it's time to deal with these problems, or these problems will mask into even bigger evils. And they are a big evil right now. I would advise that your government, your systems, take responsibility for the things that are good, remove the bad, and have people recognize what was wrong with what they were doing and bring them to the knowledge where they can do better, not do damage to people like me for no reason. I never harmed you. You've been harming me and my family for no reason.
Mm.
It's time for that to be changed. I wish you the best. Have a great day and a great life. And all those that have been behaving bad, I wish you the right to recognize that those things are not right, they don't work well, they destroy everyone. I would advise that you start praying from within and look for the ancient knowledge you're carrying. Don't trust in the churches and these people who say that are above you that can now run your life. You start trusting within yourself and start looking for the higher quality behaviors that helps yourself and everybody else you can get in contact with. Good luck on your journey and blessings to you. Have a great day and a great life. Bye bye.